what's the difference between the refugees that they're talking about here and those refugees?
I could guess. I mean, I think everyone...
They're white.
They're white.
Because they are as crazy in their own way. They're just not as dangerous.
Right. You mean the left isn't
The left
as
is not as dangerous.
Another thing that's also very interesting to me, apparently, it's like chef's kiss for me. So apparently both of his maternal grandparents are described as...
Well, we're waiting.
Hey, welcome back, everybody. Thanks for watching. I have 3 wild ones for you that I know you're going to love, including The View getting quite racist over the new pope, CNN suddenly turning on refugees, and while he's come a long way, Bill Maher still has a lot to learn.
Look, is this going to take much longer?
Okay, so this was Sunny Hostin just after the new pope was chosen.
I'm a little concerned about this choice for the LGBTQ plus community. In 2012, he gave an address to bishops, and he lamented the popular culture fostered and sympathy for beliefs and practices that are at odds with the gospel, and that's a quote. And then he cited the homosexual lifestyle and alternative families comprised of same-sex partners and their adopted children.
Oh, of course, that makes perfect sense. Devout Catholic Sunny Hostin doesn't like the new pope because he actually adheres to Catholic principles. But there is another reason Sunny Hostin might not like this new pope based on what she's saying today. It's because she thought he was white.
There's one other thing that's also very interesting to me because President Trump, as you remember, called Haiti a certain type of country. As it turns out, our new American Pope has Haitian and Black roots. So we actually have a Black Pope. Apparently, it's like chef's kiss for me. So apparently, both of his maternal grandparents are described as Black, Haitian, or mulatto in several census documents. And on their marriage license, the grandfather's birth place is Haiti, listed as Haiti. Her birthplace is listed as born in New Orleans. They were identified as people of color, but in 1920, when they migrated to Chicago, the census reflected their race as white.
So I'm loving everything about this pope.
I'm really enjoying it.
All right. This white devil thing has gone far enough.
What's even crazier about this entire thing is that Sunny Hostin's family actually owned slaves, unlike the vast majority of white Americans. All right, now fair warning, this next clip might bring your piss to a boil.
Oh, great.
So what's the difference between the refugees that they're talking about here and those refugees?
I could guess. I mean, I think everyone...
They're white.
They're white. Thank you.
Who the f is this asshole?
They are white. And I think, look, if that is how you feel, fine, then hold the line. But there are people all over the world, even people in this country right now, who are seeking, who have sought asylum, who are going through the process of asylum seeking, and have been detained by ICE and are being deported. There's also a genocide happening in the Congo right now that I don't see any Congolese being getting relief to come to this country.
Even saying, there is also a genocide happening in Congo. We got to be careful about acknowledging
that
there's
not
a genocide in South Africa.
That's right. There is no genocide.
No, of course, we're in agreement there. I mean, certainly there are white people in South Africa who have been victims of crimes. That happens all over the world.
He's an asshole.
It seems that CNN finally found some asylum refugees that they don't like. Okay, now, I'm not a white nationalist or white supremacist, but how am I not supposed to notice this? These media people and Democrats who have been lying to the country for years now about the free flow of millions across our border. They've defended violent MS-13 gang members from deportation and who run cover for illegals that abuse our asylum system to the tune of millions. Those people are now suddenly against refugees because they happen to be South African whites. There are no definitive numbers, but less than 4% of all refugees we take in are white people. Now, that's probably due to the fact that most white majority countries aren't authoritarian dictatorships and aren't at war. Again, I said most, but I failed to see the issue here at all unless they just hate the whites. There's definitely way more going on than just some crime against white South Africans, such as one of South Africa's political parties actively calling for mass killings of white people. Anyway, on to Bill Maher showing us that while he has come a a long way. He still has a lot to learn.
It's just the leftist kind of thinking and that kind of stuff, because they are as crazy in their own way. They're just not as dangerous.
Right. You mean the left isn't
The left
as
is not
dangerous?
as dangerous because they still believe.
I would say that they are. That's
I
an
know,
interesting
I know,
one
that-
because
that-
it seems like the right wingers are the ones with the guns and this and that, and we'll take. It feels that way, but I mean, all of a sudden, the last couple few years, I'm looking at who the mass shooters are and this and that, and it is
Well, I'm
creepily.
talking about our way of life, which
Right.
which is governed by the type of government we have.
Yeah.
And they are still constitutionalists and institutionalists. Now, have they nibbled at the edges? Yes. Have they invited? As always, like we were saying with the other thing, there's always an invited backlash when you go too far. So, did Joe Biden do things that were imperial presidency things? Yes, of course he did. He said in his own words something like, well, the Supreme Court said I couldn't give student loans, but I'll find a way. Okay, that's not nearly what Trump is doing, but it invites that kind of argument from the right, which says, you know what, they all do it. And you know what, that's the problem. If you move a little bit here, Trump's going to go, oh, well, I'll king me. I'll just jump over you and go 10 steps further and worse. Yeah. And so that's where we are. But yeah, I don't think they are equally dangerous because one side really would like an autocracy. They really don't want to have to deal with the left wing at all. They think the left wing is such an existential threat to our way of life that it would actually be better to be an autocracy than to be a democracy where they might win. And I would be very surprised if the next election is one that will just go smoothly. It only goes smoothly like the last one when they win. When they win, it goes smoothly. When they lose, it's a shit show because they don't accept election results.
Wrong again.
Man, Bill Maher was so right about a lot of the things he said during this podcast, but he is completely hung up on this wrong idea that somehow the left wing is less dangerous and violent than the right. For whatever reason, and I've actually never seen anybody bring this up to him during their debates on this topic, but during the 2001 Bush inauguration, there were riots, and it actually led to an attack on his limo, causing it to speed away, something that had never happened before. Then we got literal years worth of left-wing Democrat riots because Trump won. All right, folks, what do you all think? Let me know in the comments, and if you're still here, might as well hit that like button and subscribe. I do post on a regular basis, although I haven't been doing as much long form. Trust me, I want to. I just have not had the time lately, but I do post both long and short, so make sure to keep checking back for more. Thanks a lot.